Hello everyone, how the hell are ya? Happy New Year everyone. Welcome to 2016. Now let's get this year's hype train rolling early. Let's start up the old rumour mill and add some fuel to the Call of Duty fire. Call of Duty 2016. Yes, my thoughts exactly. No, let's not. I'll leave that up to the certain YouTube channels we will not discuss here. You all know who they are. Now I've been part of this Call of Duty / YouTube community for a while now, and I've played every single Call of Duty game in this franchise. Some were good and some were not so good, no names mentioned. This isn't a hate video or a rant video about past Call of Duties. I want to talk logic, or what I see for the future of Call of Duty, or what I want to see, I should say, for the future of Call of Duty. Because I am a Call of Duty fan, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well, believe it or not, I really like this series. And I purchase this game every year. I also have a right to express my opinion, whether it's good or bad, and it will always be my honest and unbiased opinion on the matter. But something I've seen over the past few years, particularly over the last 2 years, or since Advanced Warfare anyway, is that we all want this series to go back in time, or at least present day warfare, just like Modern Warfare. Now let's briefly talk about Modern Warfare and its chances of maybe being the next title in the franchise of Call of Duty. The possibility of Modern Warfare 4, in my eyes, being the next COD, or COD 2016, is slim to none. Now we could base this on the campaign from Modern Warfare 3, which obviously finished off the story, and it was a really good campaign across the 3 titles, and they managed obviously to wrap it up in MW3 quite well. And for some, Modern Warfare 3 wasn't a favourite, we'll say. It obviously had issues like many other Call of Duty titles, but for me, I really enjoyed Modern Warfare 3. Not as much as MW2, but for many that's still a fan favourite, and if you were to ask me, probably is mine as well. I think it's the Call of Duty I had the most fun on. Call of Duty Ghosts was released in 2013 after Black Ops 2, which was Infinity Ward's first away from the Modern Warfare series, and it was okay, just okay, bearing in mind. Maps were a bit big, to say the least. They had no real flow. Multiplayer was flawed with so many issues, but one thing that Ghosts got absolutely spot on was the hit detection. It's possibly the best in the Call of Duty series. The campaign, nobody's really that pushed about campaign, to be honest, but to me it was a rehashing of familiar concepts and lack of innovation, but the story really did leave it open for a follow-up. Ghost 2? You know, why not? I do strongly believe that we will see Ghost 2 coming out this year. And now this is not speculation, this is not rumours, this is my opinion. And I think one thing with Ghost 2 and Infinity Ward, it won't be set in the future. Infinity Ward have always stayed true, they kept their games present day. Now as far as I know, Ghosts was slightly set in the future. I think it was 2017 or something. As I say, it was a really boring campaign, it's not that important, but the multiplayer, I think it just lacked something. Now, I can't just quite sum it up with one sentence, and if I get into it, this commentary may go on for 20 minutes, which is something I do not want. But if you ask me, in my opinion, Ghosts had the potential to be an amazing Call of Duty, and I think there is some people out there that will agree with me in that, and that's why I think, and maybe I hope, that it will be the next in the franchise. I think now with Todd Alderman recently back in the picture at Infinity Ward, I'm pretty hopeful that they can take this series back to the glory days of even COD 4, Modern Warfare 2. But it's always been racking around my brain, can we build a Call of Duty on nostalgia alone? Here lies the big question. As a community, we all cry out every year for boots on the ground, you know, back to the good old days of Call of Duty. But in my opinion, the good old days are better left in the past. We need to move on and stop trying to recreate the past. Now, I still go back to the older Call of Duties on my PS3, and for most of the lobbies I get into, they're really quite enjoyable. I can pick up MW2 or even COD 4 and still have fun. But I don't know, just leave it at that. Now personally, I don't think a new Modern Warfare HD remastered collection remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that everyone was harping on about last year or 2 years ago, it's never going to happen. Backwards compatibility for the current gen consoles is quite a big possibility, but not an entire remake or an actual release or a HD release of a game. It's not going to happen. It probably wouldn't really work. Activision as publishers, they're smart, they're intelligent people. They know the Call of Duty sells hundreds of thousands of copies every year and always will in the future regardless. So I feel if it's going to be Ghosts 2 this year, Infinity Ward, they really need to pull something huge out of the bag. Is it going to be better than Black Ops 3? No, it probably won't. Now Treyarch, they have their following, they have their fans. Treyarch are brilliant at developing a game for all ages, mainly the young people. Even though it's rated an 18+ game, it's still quite child friendly. But Treyarch are brilliant at hyping a game. The hype train started rolling extremely early last year for Black Ops 3, and it did that game so many favours. I just checked up today, and this sounds absurd, and I had to check this 5 or 6 times, but Black Ops 3 has sold, are you ready for this, 14.8 million copies across the world. Now that is obviously based across every console globally. I got those figures from VG charts. I'll put a thing up on the screen here so you can see it. That is 14.8 million copies. It's just unreal. And just to shock you even more, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has sold, wait for it, 20 million copies. It's just crazy. I'm almost speechless. Now I do believe that 8 or 9 or maybe 10 people are still playing that. So yeah, that's quite a poor ratio. You know, it's still early days for Black Ops 3. It probably will sell quite a lot. Now just to wrap this commentary up, if you want Call of Duty to go back in time to the good old days, I will ask you one thing. Try sitting watching the first ever Star Wars movie on VCR on a 14-inch TV, and then come back to me and talk about nostalgia. Some things are better left in the past. Now I'm going to end this commentary with some wise words, and it's almost, I seen this comment today, it's by the late great Nelson Mandela. It almost inspired me to make this commentary. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. Very poignant words. See you on the next video. Love you, bye.